Good morning, evening, night, people of planet Earth. How have you been? I hope you're doing great. My name's Weirdimgar, and I've come up with a new idea for a bit of a series for the channel. I'm going to be remaking thumbnails of Minecraft YouTubers that I really like, and we're going to start with the prince of YouTube himself, MrBeast. For those of you who don't know, he has a gaming channel, and I'm going to be remaking 3 of his thumbnails. The videos I chose are the ones you're watching right now on your screen, and I chose them because I thought I could make some sort of story behind the thumbnail. And for the last one, I really think it's a pretty lazy thumbnail, and I'm going to prove that they could have done a way better job with it. If you like this idea, please let me know down in the comments, and also please tell me if you prefer Jimmy's original thumbnails or if you prefer mine. I'm really curious. I'm going to be using a free program called Blender, which you can download in a link I'll leave in the description, and I'll also be using some extra assets that I've downloaded from other Minecraft tutorials I found. And if you really want me to make a tutorial on this, please let me know. I'd be very glad to do it, but as I said, there's a lot of material out there already, so I don't want to make a video on the topic if you don't want me to, but if you do want me to, please let me know down in the comments. Now let's begin with the project setup. First of all, I opened up Blender and imported a bit of a Minecraft rig I found online. I'll be leaving this also in the description in a video, and here I'm going to change the skin of that Steve that was there. First with Jimmy's skin, then I'm going to change the clones that I just made with Chandler's skin, Chris's skin, and Carl's skin. Then I'm just going to set up a bit of a background and some clouds and set up the lighting so that it has some sort of contrast with the rest of the thing. And finally, I'm going to get rid of the background because I'm going to add that later in Photoshop, as you will see in some of the thumbnails. Now we can begin making the first thumbnail, which is going to be the Minecraft but it's one block video. I wanted to tell a story again with these thumbnails, and I'm gonna say it, one block is not enough space for 2 people to be standing on comfortably. So I wanted to have this sort of story in which Chris had fallen and Jimmy was trying to recover him. Like, I don't know what happened, but Chris is hanging from Jimmy's arm. And as you're going to see, I'm going to struggle a bit in deciding on how to pose Chris. And for this, I used a lot of image references, and that's pretty useful if you want to get into this sort of stuff. Look for real images. That's going to help to make your renders and your poses look more natural. Then I added the clouds and rendered this. This render actually took 8 minutes. And then I was going to make the second version of the thumbnail, in which I was going to add Chandler and Carl. I wanted to add them just at the edge of the block, but they wouldn't fit. They were not going to fit both of them. So I put Carl hanging from Chris. And now you're going to see me again struggling with the posing, because it's pretty hard to make something that looks natural, that looks plausible. And I ended up moving a lot of times, both Chris and Carl, because I wasn't really happy with how they were looking. And in the end, I think I decided to make it so that Carl was not hanging from one arm, but from 2 arms. He was grabbing Chris's arm, like from the elbow and down. And I really like how that looked, and I think that's how I set it up. And then I just went to Photoshop and added a couple stuff. And now you're seeing here, first of all, the original thumbnail, Jimmy's thumbnail, and now I'm going to show you both of mine. The first one will have a big Jimmy because this is a bit of a style that he uses a lot. Like, his face is occupying half of the thumbnail, and the rest of the thumbnail is going to be the video related one. And for the second one is going to be the bigger, the only Minecraft thumbnail, and I really like both. Please let me know down in the comments which one you like better, which one of the 3. And if by some chance you, Jimmy, are watching this video and you want to use any of these 3 thumbnails, feel free to do so, please. And also, if you want me to make more of these thumbnails, you can contact me on any of my social media. Seriously, I'd be really happy to give back to you by making something relatively simple as thumbnails. Let me know, please. And for those of you who are not Jimmy, you can also follow me on my social media to get some behind the scenes of this sort of stuff. I usually upload some stories or images when I'm making these videos, and if you like that sort of stuff, you can follow me, especially on my Instagram. I'm the most active there. Now let's go to the second thumbnail. For this one, the process was a bit different because we actually started in Minecraft. We're going to export from Minecraft a section of a map, and then we're going to open it in Blender. Again, if you want me to make a tutorial on this, please let me know down in the comments. So I'm exporting here the world for rendering, and I'm importing it into Blender. I'm setting up the camera, and then we're going to start to place some pigs. My original idea was to give them some sort of trait that resembles the person that they are, like the character they are. But as you're going to see here, they don't look very good. Like, pigs are not designed to have hair, and the eyes were the biggest issue. I really found that very interesting, and they didn't look really good. So I settled with regular pigs, and I tried to pose them in some sort of interesting way, and I had 3 pigs because I forgotten that Chris wasn't in the video. For MrBeast, I did something different. I wanted him to be transforming into a pig, not be a pig already, but he was going to be looking at his transformation. His hands already looked like the color of the pig, so I didn't change them, but the posing really shows like his surprise that he's becoming a pig. Now I'm going to show you the end results for this particular video. First, we have the original thumbnail, which is, again, this style, which is Jimmy occupying half of the thumbnail. Then we have my first thumbnail, which is of this same style, but with a more complex Minecraft rendering. And this has Jimmy and Carl on the back. Carl's already turned into a pig, and Jimmy is becoming a pig, which is basically what you saw in the time-lapse, but moving just 2 things around, and that's it. For the second one, I showed the whole thing, and to compensate for Chris not being there, I just didn't include his name. That's a regular pig, forever and ever will be a regular pig. And yeah, Jimmy is in the same pose, surprised that he is becoming a pig. And I really like how this one turned out as well. Now let's move on to the last thumbnail of the video. And again, this is the one I want to prove that they could have done a way better job at Jimmy's team. I know they have a lot of work to do, and I really appreciate all the videos they put out, but the thumbnail is important. And even more in this high resolution image, you can see that it's not the greatest of thumbnails. So I want to see what do you think of my take on it. We're going to begin with the individual thumbnail, the one that includes Jimmy, and that's the reason for which his character is going to be on the right side of the screen. So I started importing some arrows, some 3D arrows, because I really want to make this look like it was raining. Some arrows will already be on the floor, and some will be falling from the sky. And Jimmy is going to be such a great player in this game that he's not going to get hit by any of the arrows. Then I just moved him around for the second thumbnail, and I added the other guys, the boys, and I wanted to give every one of them like some sort of personality. Like here, Carl is going to be trying to cover his head, and he's going to be looking down, afraid, because he doesn't want to get hit by the arrows. But Chandler's not going to have the same luck. I thought it'd be funny if one of the guys was covered in arrows, and I chose Chandler because, I don't know, he's usually the one with the worst luck. And finally we have Chris, the Boy Scout of the group, and I thought it'd be funny if he, instead of being afraid, was trying to pick up the arrows that were already on the floor. So he's going to be leaning towards an arrow, and he's going to have a bunch of arrows already on his hands. And now we're going to review the 3 thumbnails once again. This is Jimmy's original thumbnail. This is my take on this style of Jimmy being in the same frame. And this is, I think, by far my favorite of all the thumbnails I made for this video, because I think it really tells a story and it really shows the different personalities that the boys have. In the description there will be a download link to a compressed folder in which you can find 12 different images corresponding to these thumbnails with some sort of variation, one that has Jimmy, one that doesn't have Jimmy, one that has the names of the boys, and one that doesn't. That's basically it. And again, Jamie, if you're watching this and you want to use them, feel free to do so, please. They're absolutely yours if you want them. Well, I think that's been everything for this video. I really enjoyed making it, even though it took like 3 hours to make this whole thing, and that doesn't account for editing. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you really want to support me, please like the video, share it, comment on it, because all that sort of stuff helps YouTube know that this is a video that people want to watch. So that'd be really helpful for me. For now, that's been everything on my end. My name's Remade, and I hope to see you again in a future video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye! I apparently left the audio from I'm being okay. I'm gonna place this at the end of the stream. I'm gonna put this at the end of the video because it's pretty fun. I had a second. I didn't realize I'm